Behind the golden walls of China's imperial palaces, thousands of women disappeared. Not in wars, not in rebellions. They vanished in silence. History remembers the emperors. It remembers their victories, their palaces, their power. But what Chinese emperors did to their concubines was hidden, softened, and erased, because the truth was too disturbing to protect. This is that truth. For over 2,000 years, Chinese emperors ruled with absolute authority. Nothing represented that power more than the imperial harem. Girls were selected from across the empire. Some came from noble families, others from villages that would never be remembered. Once chosen, refusal was impossible. Families were told it was an honor. But what they were really doing was surrendering their daughters forever. The moment a girl passed through the palace gates, she ceased to exist as a free person. Her name could be changed, her past erased, her future decided by someone she might never even meet. The palace was beautiful, but it was not a home. It was a cage. And for most of these women, the greatest cruelty came after they entered, because many were never chosen at all. Inside the palace lived thousands of concubines. But the emperor only visited a handful. The rest waited. Every day followed the same ritual. Silk robes, perfect posture, silent hope. Some girls entered the palace at 13 or 14 years old. They were told to be patient. Years passed, then decades. Historical records describe women who spent their entire lives inside the palace walls and died without ever once laying eyes on the emperor. They were forbidden from leaving, forbidden from loving, forbidden from starting families. If the emperor died before noticing them, they became prisoners for life, young widows without ever being wives. This was not privilege. It was invisible imprisonment. But for the women who were finally summoned, their danger only intensified. To be noticed by the emperor changed everything. Concubines were ranked. Low rank meant obedience. High rank meant exposure. Every night with the emperor was recorded by palace officials. Every detail, every outcome. Concubines existed for one purpose: producing heirs. Their bodies no longer belonged to them. Pregnancy could elevate a woman or mark her for death. If her child threatened the chosen successor, history records that both mother and baby often fell ill. The palace understood what that meant. Behind closed doors, survival depended on politics, not love. And pregnancy wasn't the only way a concubine could disappear. The palace ran on fear. Jealousy was constant. Power struggles never slept. A rumor could be fatal. An accusation didn't require proof. Concubines were punished for speaking carelessly, offending a rival, or simply existing at the wrong time. Punishments included isolation, starvation, public humiliation, and execution. Some were forced to take their own lives, so the palace could claim no blood was spilled. Their names were erased from official records, as if they never existed. But the most horrifying fate awaited some women only after the emperor died. For centuries, Chinese emperors practiced something called death accompaniment. When an emperor died, certain concubines were expected to die with him, to continue serving him in the afterlife. This was not voluntary. Records describe women crying, begging, collapsing in terror. Some were strangled, some poisoned, some buried alive. Families were told their daughters had been honored. During the Ming Dynasty alone, dozens of women were killed in single ceremonies, their only crime being loyalty they never chose. Eventually, the practice was banned, but the damage was already done. Still, a few women learned how to survive this brutal system. The ones who learned to play the game. Most concubines were powerless, but a rare few understood palace politics well enough to rise. The most famous was Wu Zetian. She entered the palace as a low-ranking concubine. She was exiled, forgotten. Then she returned. Through strategy, intelligence, and ruthlessness, she eliminated her rivals and eventually crowned herself emperor. She proved that women could rule. But her rise came with blood. For every concubine who gained power, countless others were destroyed. The palace rewarded brilliance, but never mercy. So why were these stories hidden for so long? How history was silenced. Imperial historians did not write freely. They wrote to protect the throne. Suffering was renamed duty. Murder became natural death. Executions became honor. The truth about concubines was dangerous because it revealed unchecked power. So their voices were removed. Their pain softened. Their existence minimized. What survived was a sanitized version of history, one that praised emperors and ignored the cost. But erased stories have a way of resurfacing. The women history tried to forget. These concubines built no monuments. They led no armies. They wrote no chronicles. But they were the foundation of imperial power. Their youth was taken, their freedom erased, their lives controlled. Remembering them forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth that greatness is often built on silent suffering. And history chooses what to remember and what to bury. If this story changed how you see history, support the telling of the stories that were erased. Like this video, subscribe, and comment erased. Because the most powerful histories are often the ones someone tried to hide.